Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Small Talk, everyone. It's a lot has happened in the stock market, in the politics, in the economy since I made my last video. So I'm going to uh, cover a lot in this video. Please stay tuned till the end because I have some good news coming up for next week. I worked for a bank for 15 years. I remember when I was an assistant manager, one of my head teller came to me running one day in my office and he said, Farhad, can I tell you something? And I was like, yeah. He was a young guy, very, just funny. And he said to me, do you know this such and such customer? We had an old customer who used to come to our bank all the time and he had safe deposit box. And he would take the safe deposit box. We had like private rooms, obviously, so people can just go through their safety deposit box and, look at their personal belongings or take whatever they need to take out. And the door used to be shut for the privacy purposes. And he said to me, this guy, he keeps ladies' thongs and underwears in his safe deposit box, and he sits there and he sniffs them. And I laughed and I said, how do you know this? And he said, I'm telling you, he is such a creep, and he actually does that. And I was like, how do you know? The door was closed. Stop making up stories. And he said, no, no, no. The door was a little bit open. And when he saw me walking by, he asked me that he's ready to put his safe deposit box back into his locker. And as I opened the door, he was putting away the last two pieces of thongs into his safe deposit box. And then we used to just laugh about it, like, these creepy old men. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the story he told me. And we just joked about it. So these old creeps and their stupidity is like beyond acceptance right now. And now this old creep is no other than our own President Donald Trump. I'm not sure if it's true or not, whether it's a conspiracy theory or not. He won the election with the promise that he's going to release Jeffrey Epstein's files once he goes into power. Those of you who don't know, I'm sure everybody knows who Jeffrey Epstein was, but just in case you missed it, Jeffrey Epstein was a multimillionaire, or rather a billionaire, who had a human sex trafficking business, and he was a pedophile, and he used to provide women and young girls to all of his wealthy clients. He had an entire island where he used to hide those girls, and all these filthy rich politicians and billionaires would go to him and be his clients. And the rumor is, or the conspiracy theory is, that he used to maintain the file of all of his clients who used to come to his island to get the services that he provided. And among the list, there are lots of conspiracy theories that all of our politicians were involved. All these big, rich, filthy millionaires, billionaires. We all know who those are. They were all his clients, and they all used to go to him. I mean, the things that these old freaks do, it's hard for me to talk about those things on camera. And these creeps used to actually, do those things. It just makes me sick to my stomach. But we have to discuss these things because it's the president that we elected. I am a taxpayer in this country, and my children are being raised here, and I need to make sure that we hold people accountable when they make a promise and they get our votes and they get elected. Then we need to hold them accountable and tell them to keep your promises that you've made with us when you were trying to get our votes. When Elon Musk had a clash with Donald Trump a little while ago, a few weeks ago, and he wrote on his social media X that Donald Trump is a pedophile, and his name is on Jeffrey Epstein's files listed as being his client, or maybe just being a pedophile himself. And then later on, he came forward and he apologized, and he said maybe he went too far. But I guess Donald Trump is the guy who makes a statement and he gets media's attention. And when he desires media attention, he gets it. This is the only time when he doesn't want media to follow up with him. But the problem is this issue is so serious and so severe that people, the voters, the supporters, they all want him to answer, and they all want him to release those Epstein files. Our Attorney General, Pam Bondi, who at one point or the other has mentioned and uh, said that she has, back in February, she said that she has Jeffrey Epstein's files at her desk that are being reviewed. Later on, the department had sent a letter out or a memo out contradicting that, and they said they find no such evidence of having such files being existed at all. Um, she came forward this time, and Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, she came forward and she said that there is, she has been working with FBI Director Kash Patel, but she would not address reports about a clash last week with Bongino. He is the number two in the FBI. Um, she has also tried to defend Donald Trump and said that we have no evidence of such files, and Donald Trump does not have to release those files. His history, he's gone, he's dead. He committed suicide in 2019. We should move on. We're all here to protect the country, make our country safe again, make our country sex trafficking free again, all that, nonsense that they always come up with as a politician, a supporter of the politicians. When she said that, lots of people went against her and they were questioning her authority. In fact, far-right activist Laura Loomer, she has actually called for Bondi to resign, and she said that she no longer deserves this position and she should just leave the office right away. Bongino also would not provide any testimony saying that yes, we do have the Epstein files. And then, so when somebody asked that should Bongino resign from his job, Bondi said that she would not discuss personal matters in front of public. All three top officials at one point or another have stoked conspiracy theories about Epstein files, and now they're all denying it, and now they're all saying there is no evidence of it. Jeffrey Epstein, there's also a conspiracy theory about his death. His death was declared that he committed suicide back in 2019 in his prison cell, but some people say that it was a murder because nobody wanted their names to be released. So they tried, they just killed him in the prison, which could be true because we all know how the world works, how these billionaires and millionaires and filthy rich people, how they control everybody. And once they know that their name is going to be on the spotlight, they always get rid of all the evidence. When when asked Donald Trump about Pam Bondi's appearance in public, he said Attorney General has handled that very well. She's really done very good job and great job. When you look at it, you will understand. He was hoping that this will cool down the matter, but that actually came back biting him. It kind of inflated the issue, and now all the voters are demanding from Donald Trump to go ahead and release the files. In one of the press conferences, when he was asked um, that when he was asked about Epstein file, he said, "Are you guys still talking about it? You're still talking about the Epstein? He has been discussed for a long time. The guy is dead. He was a creep. I watched his video and he sounded so stupid. You can tell that he has so much to hide, and he just doesn't want his name to come forward." Then he started blaming the Democrats. He said, if Democrats are the one who created these files, and if they were so good, why didn't they release them? I tell you why they didn't release them. Probably their names were in there as well, just like your name is in there, Mr. President. So obviously no one's going to release those files because you guys are all the black sheeps. You guys were all there, you pedophiles, and doing things which you're not supposed to do. So that's probably why they didn't release it either. But the question is, they didn't promise that they would release it, but Donald Trump did. He probably didn't realize that his name was in the list. Again, it's a conspiracy theory, but it could be true. I have not seen that many white young men being so bad and creepy as many old white men who are creepy to the next level. Their creepiness is just, there's no end to it. Anyways, so there's a lot going on. Donald Trump is under the spotlight. Pam Bondi is under the sorry, spotlight. Everybody is demanding that they need to release Epstein files. In the previous months, they have said that that they have a whole list of Epstein files where he maintained his clients' names, and now they're all chickened out to kind of release them. Now, Trump's tariff. Trump has announced 30 or 50% tariff on China's sorry, um, China's battery production that are being imported into the US. And that does affect Tesla stock a lot because most of Tesla's batteries come from China. And I think Donald Trump is doing it on purpose. It's like tit for tat because ever since um, Elon Musk made that statement on X, or tweeted on his social media platform X, that Donald Trump's name is in Jeffrey Epstein's files, this whole matter has been just highlighted. And I think at this point Donald Trump wants to punish Elon Musk, and that's why he's imposing all these heavy um, tariffs on batteries that are being imported from China. Recently, Uber has announced that they are, so okay, that was the political agenda that I wanted to talk about. He's obviously still imposing lots of tariffs. I'm sure you guys have already heard that by now. I don't need to repeat them because those news are always playing everywhere. But I just want to go over some of the stock market news, which I think are very important if you are an investor, because mainly that's what I made the videos about. So the first thing first, I want to talk about Uber. Uber has recently announced a partnership with Lucid. Uber is going to invest $300 million in Lucid and multi-million dollars in Neuro to launch a premium robotaxi services using Lucid's Gravity SUV. Lucid has so far only sold 3 of these Gravity SUVs, but Uber wants those SUVs to be equipped with Neuro Level 4 autonomous technology. They want to have an FSD robotaxi fleet added to their vehicles, and Uber is going to own them. So ever since Tesla has started testing their robotaxis, of course, it's very important for Uber to go ahead and be the competitor with Tesla and Waymo at the same time. The fleet is going to be in major U.S. cities starting in 2026, and they'll be owned by Uber. A prototype is already operational. Um, Uber has demanded 20,000 plus vehicles, and they have to be produced and up on the streets by, in like 5 to 6 years. I know it sounds like a long time, but if you think about it, it is going to be out there before you even know it. Uber decided not to take part into the FSDs back in 2018 when they had a crash, but now they have decided to enter back into the robotaxi. That is going to be a bold re-entry on the Uber side. Tesla's FSD system, tested on 60,000 beta systems, leverages billions of miles of driving data. We all know that Tesla has been trying to extend its robotaxi um, business, and they have already tested 60,000 beta systems, which leverages billions of miles of driving data. Musk stated on July 16th that our data scale is unmatched. So yes, they have lots of data because, as I said, Tesla is 10 years ahead of every EV company. It's because they have been collecting data way before anybody else has been collecting data. They have more information on the roads, maps, everything. My husband has, if you remember my videos previous, he has been working for autonomous car companies for a long time now, since 2019. In fact, before that, but since 2019 mainly. And he has worked for multiple companies, and he knows how the information is collected. So ever since Tesla's first vehicle ever came, which they have been gathering all the information on the roads. My husband usually worked with the mapping of the autonomous vehicles. He leaded the department of mapping. So he was like, all these companies, they are collecting lots of data on the roads, and the traffic lights, the stop signs, all the how much the traffic is on these streets. So more data they have, more privilege they have over the other companies. And Tesla being the first one to get there, they obviously, nobody can match their data unless they just spend days and nights and work super hard. Even then, it's hard to catch up with Tesla, and that's what Elon Musk has reiterated recently. Tesla has also announced their Model Y L for Chinese market recently, and they said this model is going to be expected to launch on fall of this year. I just read this news. I'm not sure if it's 100% true because it could be just a rumor, but if this news is true, this is going to be very bullish for Tesla stock because everybody has been waiting for their Model 2 and Model 3 and Model Q for a long time, which they were supposed to announce, but then they decided not to launch those models, and instead they decided to modify their Model Y. And now that they're announcing the Model Y L in the Chinese market, and they're expected to launch this in the fall of 2025, which is like September, October, in fact, September. And the starting price is going to be $46,630, and it goes all the way up to $53,130, depending on what features you get in those new models. So if this is the true news, which I'm hoping it is, it was announced only by Deutsche Bank. It was just a very small news that I came across, and I decided I should share with you. If it is true, then this is going to be very bullish for Tesla. We'll find out more maybe tomorrow or by Monday, because sometimes news just leaks and nobody wants to give you the 100% true answer. But if it was a leak news, then I think it's a very good news for Tesla. Uber is also, I think, going to be, Lucid stock has gone up since they signed a contract with Uber. Of course, if they've only sold 3 cars so far, those SUV vehicles that Uber is going to get from them, 20,000 of them, that's a huge production. And this Neuro president has said that Uber was basically testing so many companies for a whole year, and they picked us. So they have been, I guess, in searching for the right company to kind of partner with, and then they decided to partner with Lucid. But at the same time, they want the Neuro's AI service added into the cars. Just so you know what Neuro is like a shell company to NVIDIA, which gives NVIDIA a boost as well, because that kind of makes NVIDIA look good. And that's why people are going to think, well, NVIDIA is getting more involved with so many other companies who are incorporating AI into their business models right now. So this is going to be very good news for NVIDIA, for Uber, for Lucid, of course. Lucid has announced on July 17th to have a reverse split because they want to stay functional, and they need to raise some money, so they have to have their stock price go higher. People don't like reverse split, but sometimes when reverse split are done with this kind of large contract and with the good intention, that people don't mind getting a reverse split. So this is going to be a very bullish for Uber, for Lucid particularly. And if the Model Y L is true, that is coming in fall, it's going to be very, very bullish for Tesla, because I know people have been waiting for for launch of a new vehicle, which Tesla has failed to offer in the past so many months, or actually so many years now. And now they have a new vehicle coming in the market, which is going to raise, have the stock price go much higher. Waymo has been very functional across the country, and they have been way ahead of Tesla, according to some of the analysts in the stock market. And they said that they have, so many millions of hours of data that they have been collecting, and which is, because they've been functional across in Arizona, in California, in Texas, and they have, I think, more than 300,000 vehicles that are out there, whereas Elon Musk is still facing the regulatory hurdles, and he has not been able to secure any regulatory permissions from any of the states yet to extend his robotaxi to the next level, which I hope that he will be able to get it done soon. He just needs to get away from the politics and mind his business and pay full attention to his Uber and his AI and XAI and all those companies. And that's probably why investors have been asking him to disassociate himself from the politics, because when he associates himself with the politics, then all these politicians are obviously going to cause lots of problems for him. And he's a businessman. He needs those politicians to be on his side, particularly the president. He needs to be on his side so he can go ahead and get those. He can get the subsidies which he's receiving already, and also he needs to get the permits to extend his business and expand his business, which he right now is facing lots of hurdles. So again, if Uber is if Tesla can launch his new its new model, I think that's going to be very amazing. Stock could like double literally, as Dan I've said, in 10 days. I don't know if that's true. It's not going to happen in 10 days, but definitely by the end of the year. Bitcoin has hit all times high, $122,000 recently. I was listening to one of the market analysts, and he said it has hit our first price target, which was $118,000. By the end of the year, we expect for Bitcoin to go to maybe $180,000 to $200,000. My price target for Bitcoin is anywhere between $165,000 to $285,000, depending on how well the market is doing and how soon the retail investors and the institutions can buy into the market. We have the biggest bull run in the market, but we still have lots of money sitting on the sideline. When that money FOMOs into the market, I think it's going to take the market to the next all-time highs. So if you have lots of stocks, which you've probably been bag holding, which I know I have lots of them, be positive and stay positive, because you're very close to having those stocks run up and you will recover your money and make some profit as well. As Warren Buffett says, stock market is a place to make money from inpatient. Stock market is a place for transfer of wealth from inpatient to the patient. And I have experienced my impatience in three of my major stocks that I've been holding for 3 years. And finally, I got sick of it and I sold them. And after that, they ran 400%. I just had to be a little more patient, like maybe 3 more months, and I would have made so much money. But I still made some money, but not the amount of money that I could have made. So please don't be impatient, not a personalized financial advice. I hope my overview of the week was okay for you guys to watch. Until next one, take care and make some money out there, and please be safe.